Alright, so today's video we have some excuse me, imposition versus big blind sims that I ran overnight that we're gonna look at in PIO. Let me find the hands. Here we go. So these are the hands we're gonna be looking at here. And these are from my session yesterday. And a new thing I'm going to be doing is just overnight simming my tagged hands and then making a video of me reviewing them the next day as like a warm-up for my session before I start playing. So, alright, let's take a look here. Alright, so first one we'll look at is this one right here. So I'll show you guys the hand and how it played out quick. A to spade, yes, is it? So this was the hand. We open the cutoff with ace king. Flop goes check check, turn, bet call, river, bet call. And this is quite a loose call here with ace king off. I have a feeling P is going to say it was a fold, but this villain just had very spewy numbers. And just was like really aggressive, so I found a call here and ended up being correct, but this could be a fold in PO land. We'll see. So let's take a look, check. Yeah, so obviously range check for big blind here with my hand, which was, I forget which specific combo we had, ace of hearts, king of clubs. So we look here, ace of hearts, king of clubs, check is fine, and a larger bet also fine. EV is exactly the same. When betting, PO generally does prefer the larger size on board textures like this, but check is never going to be that bad. Like, this is a board where range check is a fine strategy. Anyway, like, yeah, it's a board I'll range check often. We do check with our hands, and the turn was, gotta stop closing out of this. Turn was the 5 of spades. And so villain is betting about 60% of the time here, favoring a small size. In this specific scenario, he bet just under half pot. The sizing options we gave villain on the turn, though, were 1/3 pot, 2/3 pot, and an overbet, I think. Okay, there's no tree. Yeah, so 18 is 1/3, 41 is 76, and this is an overbet. So for this specific example, we'll just see how ace king is supposed to play versus small bet and then the 2/3 bet. So he had queen 10 offsuits. So this hand right here. So with a spade, he's always supposed to lead out on this turn. So his play seems fine. We'll look at a small bet first. And my combo of ace king, which was hearts and clubs. Yeah, ace of hearts, king of clubs. Is a fine call. It's like close to 0, but call's fine. And this is against a smaller size, so if villain went with a larger size, he used half pot. Now my combo of ace king just a pure fold. So probably quite a mistake on my part calling, especially calling turn and river. Like I said, it was just a read I had on villain, or like his numbers were just quite spewy. Now we got 2 of diamonds on the river. And with his queen 10 off, he should be following through quite often with his hands for a pretty small sizing. He ends up betting pot, which PO doesn't love. Yeah, he bets 9.26 into pot of 9. So this is quite a bad call for me here. My hand's basically a pure fold. You can see it is calling at a tiny frequency, and this was just like a exploitative play I made to call this hand, just based on villain stats. So play here, not great, ended up working out for us, and it's just like a call like this is just like very situational, dependent on the villain you're up against. Like someone with really nitty numbers, not bluffing often. Obviously, I'm never calling here. Probably folding turn often, but yeah. So let's look at the next one now. Yeah, so this is one I really wasn't sure about. I flopped a flush here, and here I'll pull it up. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to raise or not at any point. Here we go. Yeah, so this is cut off versus big blind. Just calling the flop probably should have been a check raise. Turn, bet call, same. And my thought process on the river here, like he bets big on the river, and it was just like should be jamming this combo for sure. I just kind of thought nothing worse than an ace high flush would call, but this was a huge mistake. I missed out on a lot of value here. Like should get this guy's stack every time. Flush over flush obviously is just played way too passively. I already know it's going to be a big mistake. But anyway, check. So villain really only has one size here, not doing much large betting. It's supposed to be a small bet, which I'm pretty sure was what he did here. Oh yeah, and I can actually, here we go. Yeah, so he bets 2 into a pot, so about a little over 1/3. And versus sizing with my specific hand, calls fine, raises fine. We went with the former option. Baby sixes raising here is interesting, and then like nut flushes are going to be the majority of our raising range. But like the baby bottom pair hands, interesting. That on a mono board like this, these are hands are getting check raised at such a high frequency. Alright, so bet call. Turn was a blank, I think. Yeah, 2 of diamonds. About as blank as it gets. And so we check, obviously, and now with villain's specific combo, 7-8 of hearts, he is supposed to be using a large sizing here, going 2/3. And on this turn, yeah, he goes a little less than 2/3, but seems fine. So we'll go with this, and now my king 5 of hearts is actually supposed to be raising the turn quite a bit, although the EV of raise and call is about the same. Calling actually a little bit higher EV. I just don't like this such a passive line. Now, when I get to the river and face a bet, I'm definitely going to be shoving this hand, no question about it. But I just called like a total fucking nit. Which feels pretty bad. 8 of diamonds is the river. Always checking. Here, villain is actually supposed to go 340. Okay, so it's not a shove, but he is supposed to overbet this river with his specific combo. He ended up going about 2/3, I think. Yeah, 17 to 21, so like over 2/3. So definitely a large bet. Wasn't overbet, but he bet big, which is good. It's what he's supposed to do. So he bets large, and my hand is a raise. Is this to a jam size? I don't know if it is or not. But either way, way too nitty of a call here. Like just missing out on so much. Like I would have gotten his whole stack had I shoved. I wonder if he goes this big is king 5. So now when he goes larger, king 5 is just a call. So I guess it like not I didn't play the hand that badly. Like PO takes the same line somewhat often. Um, Still miss uh, a lot of value though in that hand. Like I only got half his stack when I easily should have had all of it. Um, like yeah, he bet. Actually, I didn't even get half his stack. So 17, 20. Yeah, I only got like 20. So pretty unfortunate hand there. I just played like an idiot basically. This is gonna be the next hand we look at. I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick though, so just fast forward to this part. Alright, sorry about that. So next board, 6-9 jack. Yeah, so this one, super tight fold here, obviously. And this was another exploitative fold. I had like a 1K hand sample on this guy, and he had never check raised a flop before until this exact hand. So I made a very tight fold. As soon as he check raised me on the flop, I looked at his stats. Saw out of a 1,000 hand sample, this is his first check raise on the flop. So I was already very cautious. Then once flush comes in on the turn, and he bets so big, I just fold. With the king of spades, obviously would call, but I'm just dead here so often, and didn't want to put any more money in the pot. This is probably a call in PO land, but this was just an exploitative fold for me. So on this board, we're going to want to size up. You can see PO heavily favoring the size, which we did size up. We bet 3 into 5, which is good. Got raised. And villain should be raising. So his raising range is 6s, 9s. I'm sure he has a lot. 2 pair, jack 9. I'm sure he's plenty of spade combos that he's supposed to be raising with. He has like some spade draws, like queen 10 combo draw, king 10, king queen. So like all of his raises, his bluff raises at least, like a ton of them are improving on the turn. And I don't expect him to be bluff raising ever, considering he hadn't before in the past. It was the first time he check raised. What the fuck is going on down here? Okay. But yeah, so he raises, and I'm sitting here with pocket kings, no spade, and obviously an easy call. Wait, why? Oh, I was going to say, why don't I have the spade combos? Here we go. So our specific combo was clubs, heart. Club and heart. So, good hand to repop it with. But again, this was villain's first check raise, so I plan on continuing with extreme caution here. Call on the 2 of spades. He is supposed to keep betting. Small bet is really his only sizing here. Not supposed to have a different size, so when he does bet large, which he's never really supposed to do, I'm sure I'm supposed to be tighter. So yeah, so my hand's a fine fold. Like even in PO land, it's folding at a decent frequency. And factoring in how tight this guy is and how he has never check raised previously just makes this like a very easy fold in my opinion. Can never fold with a spade though, obviously. And let's see if this river bricks and we don't hit a spade, what we should be doing with pocket kings here if we face a bet. So villain shoves kings, it's very close, okay. Yeah, not sure what I would have done there with spade if I got shoved on the river. Probably would have just folded against this specific villain. Alright, queen jack 7. Alright, so this one here, against a half pot bet, like this was an interesting one because it was multi-way. So we are in the cutoff, opens, small blind called, big blind called. Big blind then leads this flop for 3 bigs. I raise to 11, and the small blind call is big blind folds. So the initial better folded, but small blind called. And this is probably against a half pot bet. Gonna be a pretty low frequency raise with king 9. I definitely think it'll be raised at some frequency, but probably not super often. This is actually going to be a tough one to sim just because we gave the out of position, like obviously PO is simming heads up pots, and we gave out of position a range check. So it's going to be Might actually have to skip past this one just because there's no way for me to... I would have to restart this and give this guy a leading range. Can I node lock? Tree. Alright. How do I force? Yeah, I'm not even gonna fuck around with this right now. We'll just skip this one. Alright, whatever. Yeah, not sure really how to... It's a tough one to look at. So here's one. Middle position open. We called from the big blinds. Face a pot bet on the flop. Pot bet on the turn. We did call with our hand with a third pair and a gut shot to a straight, and we end up getting lucky on the river and hitting another 6. It's a weird line by him, why he goes pot, pot, and then bets so small on the river. How was it? Did you fumble? But alright, let's look at PIO here. The only thing I'm not positive on is my turn call in this spot. Like, obviously the river shove is fine, but I wasn't sure about this turn call. A lot of the times with a pair and a straight draw, we're gonna want to continue, but facing 2 large bets, my hand might just be a fold here. So we will see. This is King 7-6 rainbow. Did this not get simmed? No way, this didn't get simmed. What? Well, that really sucks. So I'm actually missing 2 sims. Alright. Well, I guess we're shutting this one down early today. I'm not sure why those last 2 hands didn't get simmed. I must have done something wrong when I was setting that up. But alright, thank you for checking this out. We'll be back tomorrow with some more hands to review. And yep, thanks for watching.